It's Saturday, August 20th, 2022. I'm sitting here watching The Fault in Our Stars. It has some very interesting mentions. It mentions some mathematician, scientist from Amsterdam I've never even heard of. Just affirming for me that they know that even in infinity, there is and there's a higher order even in infinity. Now, to the Americans, they stand the 8 upright or in a vertical, and it's the word acht, 8. That's at water. When the infinity is at a horizontal, I suppose, Vater, Father, Vater. I learned that through in nomine and some Lord's Prayer in German that I confirmed with the Armenian that I got that message, to learn small words of great importance. In the movie, there's this symbolic gesture between the Americans and Amsterdam. There's a scientist who she gets mad at, but he's drunk. In subscript, the DR, the doctor of, and then the UN, and how the world broke when they did whatever they did in a revolutionary manner. Not necessarily Amsterdam. Industry spread like a disease around the world. And this is America's whatever, conjuring, I suppose. So they have this Augustus Vater, who's August father. I'm sure there's many August fathers. For me, I now have my special son born into that Augustus Vater category. He shares a very special trinity with me, and the only Augustus Vater that the Americans have ever put up in broad daylight is that one football player. There's something in the movie about one foot is gone, or like one calf is gone. I find that interesting. There's a lot of symbolic gestures in here, I see. It's been known for a very long time. I mean, again, in astrology, in the ancient world. It's just with their, I guess, preservation or their whatever they're doing here. It's just, it's almost removed everything that once was and was so great. It feels like totally lost civilization. So, I'm gonna play a couple of pieces that were really important as far as I could tell. And this comes on a day where I myself, I can't walk because my knees are not working. But I felt so tired and sick today that I actually fell asleep middle of the day. Shouldn't be, but it's just feeling this sickness that you can't shake. And then in here I find out I have this hip pain for a while. And apparently you have to go for some test called a PET scan. I have no idea. The doctors don't. I mean, the hematologist just recently in 2022 mentioned that was a possibility, but there was no like steady follow-up. I feel like the septicemia of I don't know from what is just it's getting to levels where it's really difficult to manage.
Did you get that letter from your author friend?
No, he's not my friend. How do you know about that?
Well, I was talking to him at the cemetery, and he said he came all this way to give that letter to you.
Yeah, well, I'm over it. I have no interest in reading another word of that asshole's again.
No, he didn't write it. Gus wrote it.
What?
Apparently Gus wrote something down and then sent it to Van Houten.
I don't know. Again, I met this person, Jay. Not the problem Jay, but a white Jay that was very family oriented, it looked like. He said something about he wrote letters to Van Helsing, or he thought that things were covered under Van Helsing. He didn't know if that would be helpful to me. He came to visit me in Ronkonkoma. I think he came with Sarah before they ran off to Arizona to get married. And he was in the kitchen in Ronkonkoma. The children weren't home. Tifru was there though, but I think I don't know where he went at that point. But I took out a notebook because he wanted to talk about something and I couldn't. And I needed to see it because, again, in the way I see words, it's totally different than how the humans teach them here. It's just one of those talents or gifts of being in August and a hole between space and time.
Oh my god.
Mr. Van Houten, I'm a good person, but a shitty writer. You're a shitty person, but a good writer. I think we'd make a good team. I don't want to ask you for any favors, but if you have the time, and from what I saw you have plenty, please fix this for me. It's a eulogy for Hazel. She asked me to write one, and I'm trying. I could use a little flair. See, the thing is, we all want to be remembered. But Hazel's different. Hazel knows the truth. She didn't want a million admirers, she just wanted one. And she got it. Maybe she wasn't loved widely, but she was loved deeply. And isn't that more than most of us get? When Hazel was sick, I knew I was dying, but I didn't want to say so. She was in the ICU and I snuck in for 10 minutes and I sat with her before I got caught. Her eyes were closed, her skin pale, but her hands were still her hands. Still warm, and her nails were painted this dark blue-black color, and I just held them. And I willed myself to imagine a world without us. And what a worthless world that would be.
I don't know. I'm more sick now. Fourth decade, third year, or fourth year, than I was when Alexandra was born, which I think is, this says athletic department. I'm pretty sure that's what its reference was to.
She's so beautiful. You don't get tired of looking at her. You never worry if she's smarter than you because you know she is. She's funny without ever being mean. I love her. God, I love her. I'm so lucky to love her, Manhattan. You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you do have a say in who hurts you. And I like my choices. I hope she likes hers. Okay, Hazel Grace?
Okay.
Now, for some reason, that was him writing her eulogy. She wrote him one. Here's where they eulogize him before he dies.
Beautiful.
Hey.
You're late.
How you doing? You look ravishing, Hazel Grace.
I know, right? What's going on, guys?
Tell her, Gus.
I wanted to attend my own funeral. I mean, I'm hopeful that I'll be able to attend as a ghost, but... However, just in case it doesn't work out, I decided to plan this pre-funeral.
Ready? Augustus Waters was a cocky son of a bitch, but we forgave him. Not because of his superhuman good looks or because he only got 19 years when he should have gotten way more.
18 years, buddy.
Dude, come on. Really, I'm assuming you have a little more time. You don't have to, any bastard, interrupt me in the middle of my eulogy. You're supposed to be dead. But, when the scientists from the future come to my house with robot eyes and they tell me to try them on, I'm gonna tell those scientists to piss off because Gus, I don't even want to see a world without you. I don't want to see a world without Augustus Waters. Then having made my point, I'll probably put the robot eyes on because, you know, come on, they're robot eyes. Sounds awesome. Yeah, I don't know. This is just so hard. Godspeed.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting in here.
To the right. Yeah. Turn around. Sit down. There you go.
It's down to you, Hazel Grace.
Hello. My name is Hazel Grace Lancaster. And Augustus Waters was the star-crossed love of my life. Ours was an epic love story. and I probably won't be able to get more than a sentence out without disappearing into a puddle of tears. Like all real love stories, ours will die with us, as it should. You know, I'd kind of hoped that he'd be the one eulogizing me, because there's really no one else. Yeah, no. I'm not going to talk about our love story because I can't. So instead, I'm going to talk about math. I am not a mathematician, but I do know this. There are infinite numbers between 0 and 1. There's 0.1, 0.12, and 0.112, and an infinite collection of others. Of course, there is a bigger infinite set of numbers between 0 and 2, or between 0 and a million. Some infinities are simply bigger than other infinities. A writer that we used to like taught us that. You know, I want more numbers that I'm likely to get. And God, do I want more days for Augustus Waters than what he got.
When the days are numbered, the infinities matter.
Because my love, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity. You gave me it forever.
As far as infinity goes, this was my beginning. Which is why I don't understand why I wasn't given the right bloodline. And then this is what I brought in an infinity and an Augusta Vater. Which is of uber importance, more than the humans seem to ever conceptualize.
The numbered days. And for that I am eternally grateful.
For me, the fact that one of the Augustas, Vaters, showed up and actually welcomed Alex into this world with me on our Trinity special day was like one of the only signs of kindness from humans thus far in my life frame.
I love you so much.
Now, she has an affinity for affinity, not infinity, but an affinity for this one scientist who wrote this imperial book. And then she goes to visit, and he's supposedly a drunkard, according to the movie. I don't know who that insults. I don't know why I keep getting like the backlash from all of this. But it seems the assistant set up some kind of appreciation effort for some fan of this drunkard for whatever reason. Assistants even take care of people like this. I don't know.
All right, so at the end of the book,
Let's imagine you're racing a tortoise. The tortoise has a 10-yard head start. In the time it takes you to run 10 yards, the tortoise has moved maybe 1 yard, and so on, forever. You're faster than the tortoise, but you can never catch him, you see. You can only decrease his lead. Now, certainly you can run past the tortoise as long as you don't contemplate the mechanics involved. But the question of how turns out to be so complicated that no one really solved it until Cantor's proof that some infinities are bigger than other infinities.
That's how I seem to find these incredibly crucial and important names in urban, learned, and scholared. And how much have they kept while they have me locked in a room with exit doors, but they don't lead anywhere. They lead to the street, but nobody with answers exists on the street. They sometimes lead to doctor's office, but even the doctor's office has a partial answer, but it never seems to lead to where I need it to be so that I get a chance to be healthy and strong and to be fixed and to pursue whatever in this false, whatever this is, of some sense of freedom that's really doesn't exist, because the health is not free, movement's not free, and there's no way to survive in this lack of economy. They haven't allowed a livelihood or a person of my own. I thought August fathers would have taken care of that to make sure that my bloodline had children with the correct father. But for some reason, even that effort was stalled or thwarted or derailed. This man later says something about a trolley, a thought project of trolley, Trolley, I think. I don't even know. Never even heard of it. That symbol resignates as August. If I turn it this way, it becomes infinity. That's for the human anatomical tie-in to the numerical word. And then there's numerations, which is a high fancy word in imperial arts and science of something else completely. I don't want to stretch too far outside of where they've boxed me in for fear of more, like, retaliation, I suppose. Withholding care, or answers of care, or in some sick online, like, Easter egg project. I mean, this is all disgusting. But this is how foul humanity's become. Alexander's now 17. I'm now 43. We should have never been pushed down this route, ever. I didn't ask for it. I don't like it here. And I mean, again, it goes back to the Holy Mother, it goes back to the I come from a holy cow in astrology with the cow goddess. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and all the signs and pieces are there. I know people know. I've had people come up to me and intimate like there's this secret surprise party surrounding my birth. They seem to know things, but then they just disappear. And when they come, it just seems like an ordinary day in the middle of nothingness. And then they just disappear into oblivion. I know there's a record of it at like groundskeeper or the parks department.
His own music festival
But
in his hometown of Milton, Delaware. But Jimmy was not.
But for integrated services, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. Oh, let me see if I can find that. Amsterdam to American. They flew on American airline to get to Amsterdam. I know that's an important piece, but I'll just leave it at this because this video is getting very long.